Be me, 24, working night security at office building downtown. Basically get paid to sit in lobby and watch Netflix all night. Somehow keep attracting the most emotionally damaged girls on planet Earth. Not complaining about getting attention, but pattern is getting weird as hell. First was Paige. Met her at 24-hour laundromat near my apartment. Cute redhead, doing laundry at 2 a.m. while having full panic attack. Washing machine broke mid-cycle. She's crying over wet clothes everywhere. Offer to help her transfer stuff to working machine. She starts hyperventilating about how everything in her life is falling apart. Apparently lost her job that day, and boyfriend dumped her last week. Spend 2 hours listening to her entire life story while clothes spin. Exchange numbers because she seems genuinely sweet. Under all the chaos, we start dating after she calls me crying about job interview anxiety. She needs constant reassurance about literally everything in existence. Do you think I talked too much during dinner? Did that cashier seem annoyed when I asked about the return policy? What if my coworkers think I'm stupid? Are you sure you want to keep dating someone this anxious? Every conversation becomes therapy session about her latest worry. Can't watch movies without her analyzing characters' relationship dynamics. Grocery shopping takes 3 hours because she second guesses every purchase. What if I buy the wrong cereal and you think I have bad taste? Start carrying around her anxiety medication just in case she forgets it. 6 months of being her emotional support human before I completely burn out. She finally starts seeing actual therapist after having panic attack at my work. Therapist immediately tells her she's using me as coping mechanism. Paige decides she needs to work on herself and can't handle relationship. Breaks up with me via voicemail while I'm doing security rounds. You deserve someone who isn't a complete disaster, she says through tears. 3 months later, meet Autumn at gas station at 3 a.m. buying energy drinks. She's crying in her car after filling up tank, windows fogged from tears. Knock on window to check if she needs help. She rolls it down, sniffling. Just broke up with her boyfriend after catching him messaging other girls. All men are lying cheaters, she declares while mascara runs down face. Offer to buy her coffee from gas station to talk somewhere warmer. She immediately launches into detailed history of every guy who hurt her. Tells me about daddy issues and trust problems within the first 30 minutes. We start texting daily. She sends paragraphs analyzing every male interaction. The barista at Starbucks smiled at me. Do you think he was flirting? My Uber driver was quiet, probably thinks I'm ugly. Why did you take 20 minutes to respond? Are you losing interest? Every text requires careful analysis to avoid triggering her abandonment fears. We start dating officially. After a month of constant communication, she warns me she has trust issues, which is understatement of century. Screenshots my text conversations to analyze with her friends. Checks my phone when I'm in bathroom to look for evidence of cheating. Follows my female coworkers on social media to monitor their interactions with me. Creates fake dating profiles to test if I'll match with other women. 4 months of proving I'm not cheating before she has therapy. Breakthrough. Realizes she's been sabotaging relationships due to childhood trauma. Decides she needs time alone to work on trust issues properly. I'm too damaged for healthy relationship right now, she explains. Another girl choosing therapy over continuing to date me. Starting to think I attract broken women like magnet. 2 months later doing security rounds when girl approaches building entrance. She's locked out of her apartment upstairs. Roommate has her keys. Introduces herself as Sage while I call building manager for her. Immediately starts telling me about her recent breakup and depression. My ex said I was too needy and clingy, she explains unprompted. Now I can't sleep and I've lost 15 pounds from not eating. Building manager takes 2 hours to arrive. She talks entire time. Gives me detailed breakdown of her relationship timeline and where it went wrong. We exchange numbers after manager lets her back into building. She texts me daily novels about her emotional state and healing journey. Woke up crying again today. Tried to eat breakfast but just felt nauseous. Do you think I'll ever be able to trust someone again? My phone becomes her personal diary for processing breakup trauma. She's actually funny when not being consumed by depression. Sends memes about being emotional wreck that are genuinely hilarious. I'm like walking advertisement for therapy, she jokes. We start hanging out regularly, mostly late night conversations. She's upfront about being in therapy, but still needs constant validation. My therapist says I have attachment issues. Apparently, I use relationships to avoid dealing with my feelings. Do you think that's true? Am I just using you for emotional support? 5 months of midnight therapy sessions disguised as dates. She makes genuine progress, starts eating regularly and sleeping better. You've been so patient with all my psychological garbage, she says. I think I'm finally ready for healthy relationship now. Breaks up with me next week via long email. I need to prove I can be happy alone first. You helped me heal, but now I need independence. Getting dumped for being supportive is becoming a ridiculous pattern. Friend points out that maybe I'm codependent without realizing it. You only date girls who desperately need you, he says. Healthy women probably don't give you same validation. Decide to take break from dating and figure out my own issues. 6 months later, working security when delivery girl. Shows up with late night food. She's bringing dinner to someone upstairs. We chat while she waits for elevator. Mentions she's new in town, just moved here for fresh start after rehab. Eating disorder recovery, she explains casually. Figured change of scenery might help with staying healthy. Here we go again with another damaged woman. But something's different about Willow. She doesn't dump trauma immediately. Asks about my job, seems genuinely interested in my boring security stories. We start talking whenever she delivers food to this building. She sets clear boundaries about communication from beginning. I can only text during certain hours because I'm working on phone addiction. Also, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, just friendship. Refreshing change from girls who want to be my girlfriend immediately. We hang out casually. She never makes me her therapist. I have actual professional for processing my issues, she says. Still has bad days, but handles them with healthy coping mechanisms. Doesn't expect me to fix her problems or validate every emotion. 8 months of actual friendship before anything romantic develops. She goes to therapy weekly. I start going too after she recommends it. We both work on our individual issues separately. When we finally start dating, it's a completely different experience. No constant crisis management or emotional breakdowns to handle. Can go places without her having panic attacks or analyzing everything. She has difficult days, but doesn't make them my responsibility. Thank you for not trying to rescue me, she says one evening. Most guys want to be the hero who saves the broken girl. You just let me handle my own stuff like an adult. Year later, we're still together, both still in therapy. Healthy relationship requires way less work than I expected. No walking on eggshells or constant reassurance needed. Can watch movies without discussing psychological implications for hours. Friend asks how I finally found stable girlfriend. Stopped looking for someone who needed fixing, I tell him. Still work security, still meet people during late night hours. A few weeks ago, girl approaches my desk looking upset. Clearly been crying, holding crumpled tissues. Excuse me, she says. You look like someone who understands people. I'm having relationship problems. Can you help me figure things out? Old me would have immediately offered to listen and give advice. New me recognizes this pattern from a mile away. I'm sorry you're going through something difficult, I say politely, but I'm really not qualified to help with personal problems. Have you thought about talking to a counselor or therapist? She looks confused, like no one's ever redirected her before. But you seem so caring and understanding. I just need someone to tell me what I should do. Give her information about local therapy resources instead. She leaves looking disappointed that I wouldn't volunteer as free therapist. Realize how much I've changed since starting my own therapy. Turns out I wasn't attracting girls who needed therapy. I was attracting girls who weren't getting professional help. The ones already in therapy make much better partners. They've learned communication skills and emotional regulation. Plus, they don't expect boyfriends to be their personal psychologists. My face when I learned difference between supporting and enabling, that feel when healthy relationships are actually easier than broken ones. BME26, pizza delivery driver for Mario's Pizza downtown. Been doing this job for 3 years, seen every type of degenerate imaginable. But there's this one customer, Trevor, who orders from us religiously. Every single Tuesday and Friday night, exact same order without fail. Large pepperoni pizza, extra cheese, 2 liter of Mountain Dew, garlic bread. Lives in this rundown apartment complex on Elm Street, Unit 4B. First time I delivered there, took 20 minutes to answer door, opens it wearing anime body pillowcase as makeshift cape. Oh, thank God the sustenance has arrived, he says dramatically. Tips me exactly $3.50 every single time. Never more, never less. Apartment smells like energy drinks and broken dreams. Can see multiple computer monitors glowing in background. Sounds of some MMO raid happening. People yelling through headset. Sorry bro, guild leader called emergency meeting, he explains. Closes door before I can even say thanks for the tip. Thought he was just another weird, neat customer at first. But after 6 months of regular deliveries, started noticing patterns. Always orders food during peak gaming hours, never wants to pause. Sometimes answers door in different anime cosplay outfits. One time dressed as Sailor Moon, another time as Naruto Ninja. Don't judge me, it's character building, he says without shame. Apartment always dark except for computer screen light. Glimpses inside reveal impressive gaming setup, worth more than my car. Multiple consoles, rare collectibles, wall covered in anime posters. Guy clearly has money but spends it all on gaming equipment. Starts recognizing my voice when I call about delivery. Oh hey, pizza bro, usual spot by the door, I'm in middle of raid. Never actually invites me inside, but we chat through a doorway. Tells me about his guild achievements and latest anime he's watching. Seems genuinely lonely despite having online friends. You're probably my most consistent real-life social interaction, he admits one night. Kind of sad when you think about it. After a year of deliveries, he starts adding personal requests. Can you grab me energy drinks from gas station? I'll pay extra. Store closes before my raid ends and I'm out of fuel. Start doing occasional favor runs because Guy tips decently. Pick up energy drinks, sometimes cigarettes, once emergency toilet paper. He always pays me back, plus generous tip for the trouble. You're like my connection to the outside world, he jokes. But it doesn't really sound like he's joking. Notice his appearance getting worse over time. Answers door looking more disheveled each visit. Hair greasy, clothes wrinkled, obvious he hasn't showered in days. Dark circles under eyes from staying up all night gaming. Been pulling all-nighters for this tournament, he explains. Starts happening more frequently, not just tournament related. Guy is clearly deteriorating but seems happy, somehow. Always excited to see pizza. Arrive, treats it like major life event. Dude, you have no idea how perfect your timing is. Just hit level 80 and my hunger meter was getting critical. Talks about real life like it's video game mechanics. 18 months into regular deliveries, and I'm genuinely worried. He's lost noticeable weight, looks pale and sickly. Apartment smells worse, can hear dishes piling up inside. You okay, man? You look rough, I ask during one delivery. Just been grinding hard for this expansion launch, he says. Sleeping is for people without raid schedules. Hands shaking slightly when he gives me money. Clearly running on pure caffeine and determination. Start bringing him free breadsticks sometimes, without him asking. You need to eat more than just pizza twice a week. He seems genuinely touched by small gesture. Most people think I'm just weird, shut-in loser. But you actually care about my well-being, that's rare. Makes me realize how isolated this guy really is. Probably hasn't had a real friend in years. 2 years of deliveries, and he starts opening up more. Tells me about his job doing remote tech support. Works from home, so never has reason to leave apartment. Why go outside when everything I need gets delivered? Explains his daily routine of work, gaming, sleeping, repeat. Hasn't been on actual date in 4 years. Tried online dating, but girls don't appreciate my lifestyle. Shows me his dating profile on phone. It's disaster. All photos are him in cosplay or with gaming equipment. Bio says looking for player 2 in the game of life. No wonder he's single. Profile screams terminal virgin, but he seems content with his isolation most of the time. Real relationships are too much drama and grinding. At least my waifu never complains about my raid schedule. Points to anime body pillow, visible through doorway. Guy has completely given up on normal social interaction. One Friday night, he doesn't answer door when I deliver. Knock for 10 minutes. Can hear gaming sounds inside. Finally opens door looking frantic and panicked. Sorry, dude. Guild leader was having mental breakdown. Had to talk him out of quitting and disbanding guild. Realizes he just spent 2 hours counseling someone online while ignoring real person standing outside his door. Sometimes I think my online friends are more real than real life. Starting to understand his twisted perspective on relationships. He gets genuine emotional support from gaming community, but treats actual humans like NPCs or delivery mechanisms. 2.5 years of regular pizza runs and something changes. He starts asking more personal questions about my life. Do you like this job? Seems kind of dead end. Ever think about doing something more meaningful? Tells me he makes decent money from his remote work. Could probably help you get into tech support if you want. Better than driving pizza around all night. Genuinely trying to help me improve my situation. Guy who never leaves apartment, wants to help me escape service industry. Weirdest mentorship offer I've ever received. Start having longer conversations during deliveries. He asks about my goals, relationships, plans for future. Gives surprisingly good advice despite being social recluse. You seem like you have your life together compared to most people. Ironic coming from Guy who hasn't seen sunlight in months, but his perspective on life is oddly refreshing sometimes. No pretense or social games, just honest communication. 3 years into this routine and he drops bombshell news. This might be my last pizza order for a while. Getting evicted next month. Can't afford rent anymore. Apparently lost his remote job for missing too many video calls, was gaming during work hours and supervisor caught him. Probably should have prioritized better, he admits sadly. Asks if I know any cheap places to rent in area. Guy has no idea how real-world apartment hunting works. Offer to help him look at listings online during my break. Spend hour teaching him about security deposits and lease applications. Realizes he has no references except his former employer who fired him. Maybe I should have maintained some real-world connections. First time I've seen him show regret about his lifestyle choices. Help him apply to several places over the next few weeks. Most landlords reject him immediately due to recent unemployment. He gets increasingly desperate and depressed, starts talking about moving back in with parents in different state. Probably means no more pizza deliveries from you. You're literally my best friend and I only know your first name. Hits me that I've become this guy's primary social connection through nothing but professional pizza delivery interactions. Last delivery before he moves out is genuinely emotional. He answers door looking cleaned up for first time in months, actually showered and wearing fresh clothes. Wanted to look respectable for our final pizza transaction. Hands me $50 tip instead of usual $3.50. Thanks for treating me like human being all these years. Most people just see weird shut-in loser when they look at me. But you always seem to actually care about my well-being. Tells me he's going to try being more social at his parents' house. Maybe join local gaming group or something. Need to practice talking to people in real life. We exchange phone numbers for first time ever. Promise to stay in touch even though he's moving states away. Watch him load his gaming equipment into moving truck next day. Apartment looks completely empty except for pizza boxes in corner. 6 months later, get random text from him. Got job at local computer repair shop, actually like working with people. Still game at night, but have real-life schedule now. Sends photo of himself at work, looks healthier and happier. Thanks for being friend when I didn't know I needed one. Year later. He texts me engagement photos. Met girl at local gaming convention. They bonded over anime. Turns out some girls do appreciate my lifestyle when it's balanced. She games too, but also made me join hiking group. Photo shows him outdoors in actual sunlight, looking normal. Hard to believe it's same guy who used to answer door in Sailor Moon costume. Still delivers pizza to different weirdos every night, but none of them have become genuine friends like Trevor did. Sometimes wonder if other delivery drivers have similar experiences. How many lonely people are out there just wanting human connection, even if it's just brief interaction with pizza guy? Job taught me that everyone has story worth knowing, even the weirdest shut-in neat customers. My face when delivering pizza accidentally created lifelong friendship. That feel when you realize small acts of kindness can change someone's trajectory. Be me, 21, business major at community college, taking marketing class. Professor assigns group project worth 40% of grade. Need to create fake business plan and presentation for new product. Get randomly assigned to group with 3 other people I've never talked to. There's Connor, typical frat bro who wears backwards cap to every class. Madison, basic blonde girl who spends entire class on Instagram. And then there's this quiet girl named Ruby who sits in front row. She always brings color-coded notebooks and takes notes on everything. Professor gives us 6 weeks to complete project. Seems like plenty of time. First group meeting, Connor suggests we make business plan for energy drink. Bro, energy drinks are huge market right now, he says confidently. Madison agrees because she saw influencer promoting some brand online. Ruby quietly raises hand like we're still in elementary school. Has anyone researched if energy drink market is oversaturated? She asks. Connor dismisses her immediately. Nah bro, trust me, this will be epic. Ruby pulls out laptop and shows us 47 different energy drink brands. Market is completely saturated with established competitors, she explains. Has already researched market trends, consumer demographics, everything. Madison looks bored. Connor insists his idea is still good. Whatever, let's just do energy drinks. How hard can it be? He says. Ruby sighs and starts taking notes about our terrible decision. Second meeting supposed to divide up the work equally among all 4 members. Connor volunteers to handle the creative vision and big picture stuff. Translation. He wants to do nothing but take credit. Madison says she'll work on making it look pretty and presentable. Also translation. She'll change font colors and call it graphic design. I volunteer to research pricing strategies and financial projections. Ruby says she'll help with whatever needs to be done. Meeting ends with vague promises to have drafts ready next week. Next week comes. Nobody has done anything except Ruby. She shows up with 20-page document outlining entire business plan, market analysis, target demographics, distribution strategies, everything. I got excited and maybe went a little overboard, she says apologetically. Meanwhile, Connor has contributed 0 words and Madison made logo in Microsoft Paint. I managed to find some generic pricing information from the Google. Ruby's section is graduate level quality. Rest of us look like kindergartners. Maybe we should focus on different product, Ruby suggests diplomatically. Shows research proving energy drink idea is doomed to fail. Connor gets defensive. My uncle owns a gym, so I know about energy drinks. Ruby politely presents 15-page market analysis, proving him wrong. Madison suggests we just copy successful energy drink and change name. Ruby explains that's not how business innovation works. Third meeting, Connor doesn't show up at all. Text group. Chat had important frat stuff. You guys got this. Madison shows up 30 minutes late with Starbucks Frappuccino. Sorry, I was getting my nails done. Did I miss anything important? Ruby has completely restructured our entire project around sustainable water bottles. Found gap in market, calculated startup costs, designed marketing campaign. I took liberty of pivoting our concept, she explains nervously. Shows us professional quality presentation that would impress actual investors. Madison's contribution is still the same Microsoft Paint logo from 2 weeks ago. My contribution is pricing research that's now completely irrelevant. Ruby has essentially completed entire project by herself in 3 weeks. I can add your names to sections if you want to contribute ideas, she offers. Connor responds to group text with, sounds good, bro, whatever you think. Madison asks if she needs to do anything else. I feel guilty but also relieved that Ruby is carrying entire team. Fourth meeting, Connor actually shows up but immediately starts complaining. This water bottle thing is boring. Nobody will care about sustainability. Ruby calmly presents consumer research showing environmental consciousness trending. Connor argues with her, despite having done 0 research himself. My gut feeling says energy drinks are better, he insists. Ruby shows him projected profit margins for both products. Water bottles would make 300% more profit in first year. Connor still refuses to admit he was wrong about energy drinks. Madison agrees with whoever spoke most recently. Yeah, Connor's right, but also Ruby makes good points, she says. I suggest we go with Ruby's water bottle idea since she did all work. Connor gets angry that we're not using his creative vision. Storms out of library study room, muttering about groupthink. Fifth meeting, Connor boycotts entirely out of spite. Madison shows up just to complain about how much work this project is. Like, why can't we just do something simple, she whines. Ruby has now created financial projections, marketing budget, supply chain analysis, presentation slides look like they belong in Fortune 500 boardroom. I may have gotten a bit carried away again, Ruby admits sheepishly. Her bit carried away is more work than I've done an entire semester. Madison asks if her logo is still being used. Ruby gently explains she hired actual graphic designer for professional branding. But your initial concept was very inspirational, Ruby lies kindly. I realize I've contributed almost nothing to this project. Ruby notices my guilt and assigns me small research tasks. Could you verify these statistics about plastic waste? She asks. Gives me busy work, so I feel included in project I've barely helped with. Sixth meeting is day before presentation. Connor finally shows up. So what do I need to know for tomorrow? He asks casually. Ruby hands him detailed script with his speaking parts. Highlighted, has prepared backup slides in case any of us mess up our sections. Connor skims script for 5 minutes. Yeah, I got this. Seems easy. Madison practices her 2-minute section about logo design for an hour. Keeps forgetting basic details about our product. Ruby knows entire presentation by heart and could give it blindfolded. I practice my 3 minutes about market research. Ruby actually did feel like fraud reading facts I didn't discover myself. Day of presentation arrives. Connor shows up wearing same backwards cap. Madison spent 2 hours on makeup but didn't review her notes. Ruby arrives early with backup presentation on 3 different devices. We're presenting to class of 30 students plus professor. Connor goes first, immediately starts improvising off script. Begins talking about energy drinks despite our project being water bottles. Class looks confused, professor raises eyebrow. Ruby smoothly transitions and corrects course without embarrassing him. Madison reads directly from note cards in monotone voice, mispronounces sustainability as sustainability twice. I stumble through my section about market research. Ruby presents for 15 minutes with perfect confidence and expertise, answers every question from professor with detailed explanations. Class actually seems impressed and engaged during her sections. Presentation ends, professor nods approvingly. Very thorough research and professional quality analysis, he says. Connor immediately takes credit. Thanks, bro, we worked really hard. Madison agrees. It was like so much work, but totally worth it. Ruby says nothing, just smiles politely. Week later, grades are posted. We got A- on project. Connor brags to everyone about his successful group leadership. Madison posts on social media about acing her marketing project. I know I don't deserve the grade, but Ruby never calls anyone out. Approach her after class to thank her for carrying entire team. Oh, it wasn't that much extra work, she lies diplomatically. Besides, everyone contributed in their own way. Realize she's being kind to protect our egos and reputations. Ask if she wants to be partners for next group assignment. That would be nice, she says with genuine smile. Next project gets assigned. Connor and Madison assume I'll group with them again. Nah, I'm working with Ruby this time, I tell them. Connor acts betrayed. Bro, what about team loyalty? Madison seems confused why anyone would choose the boring girl. End up doing actually collaborative project where I pull my weight. Ruby teaches me proper research methods and presentation skills. We both get A+ on second project through genuine teamwork. Connor and Madison's new group gets C-. Apparently nobody else wanted to do all the work for them. Connor complains that professor graded them unfairly. Madison posts about how group projects are stupid and unfair. Ruby transfers to four-year university next semester. With full scholarship, probably going to be a successful businesswoman while Connor sells insurance. Learn valuable lesson about recognizing who actually does the work. Also learned that some people are genuinely helpful without expecting credit. Ruby could have thrown us under bus, but chose to be gracious instead. My face when the quiet girl in front row was actually secret genius. That feel when you realize you almost failed because of your own laziness.